Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Your boy done got a little bit of Hollywood on you. Nah, I'm just joking, man. I figured if you guys are taking the time to watch my videos and comment on my videos, I'm going to go ahead and try and make it as entertaining as possible. But let me just get right into what I came to talk to you guys about. So basically, I'm doing a beard trim tonight. If you're looking for a big trim, you're probably not going to see much. My trims are pretty basic. So this video is basically going to be about the beard trim as well as me showing you the two things I picked up. I said I would do the review on, which is the Parker straight razor along with the Tweezerman mustache scissor. I thought it was a beard and mustache scissor, but it's just a mustache scissor. So I'm going to go over these two things with you. Now, before I do a beard trim, I got a routine, okay? And even though I haven't really done many beard trims, my routine stays the same for whether I'm stepping out and I'm going somewhere important and I want the beard to look as good as possible, or if I'm doing my beard checks. And the beard check is when I check the health, and I check for split ends, I check for damaged hair, I check for knots, and it's all the same process I do to do all of those things. So let me just tell you what I do briefly. So basically, some of us have trouble spots. My trouble spots are underneath my chin, okay? Part of the problem with underneath my chin is those hairs tend to curl up really tight under the chin, and they don't hang down to give my beard the fullness, and it gives me that sparse look. Now, the technique that I'm gonna show you, it's gonna be for a little bit of a longer beard, but it definitely helps with that situation. Now, it is a lot of work, so I don't really do it that often. But basically, what I do is, before I go to bed at night, while my hair is wet, okay, I'll go ahead and apply my beard oil, my beard balm, and then I'll put my beard. I usually do maybe 2 braids on this side. I'll do a braid underneath and 2 braids on this side, okay? So in the morning, I let that air dry. In the morning, when I wake up and I take those braids out, those hairs that were curled up tight are now flowing straight down the same way my chin hairs do. Okay, so that braid helps the beard hairs to straighten out a little bit. Now, if you're not good at braiding, or if your hair is not long enough to braid, you can do what they call a two-strand twist, where you take 2 hairs and you just twist them around each other and then just put something on the end to keep it from coming out. I hate to even use this word on a video, so y'all gonna have to pardon me, but my lady calls them a scrunchie. Alright, so just, erase that from your memory that your boy Bearded Existence used the term scrunchie, but that's what my lady calls them. I don't know any other name for them. I don't want to put a rubber band on my beard because I know that rubber bands aren't good for hair and it'll break your beard. So I use a scrunchie. Yes, I do. Only when I'm doing that technique, though. If you're going to trim your beard, okay, and you have a curly beard and your beard is as curly as mine, you don't want to do a false trim. And what I mean by a false trim is you have beard hairs curling around, and you don't want to look and say, okay, I got a straight hair here, and you trim that, you trim that, you trim it, and you're trimming hairs that are sticking out. But they're only sticking out because of the direction that they're curling. They may not curl in that same direction the next day, or you may have other hairs curling. So you think you done went and you cleaned everything up, and then the next day you got hairs popping out again. So the best way to address your trim is to get all your hairs as straight as possible, all right? And then you trim after that. Now, I could have used the blow dryer and did the same technique. I don't really want to blow dry my beard, so I don't use the blow dryer, okay? So now what I do is, now that all these hairs are coming down, I just take hairs and I start looking. And what I'm searching for is, I'm looking for split ends, okay? I'm looking for knots, all right? And if I see any split ends or knots, I'll go ahead and I'll clip those hairs, okay? So right now, let me step back. Right now I have, I have some strays, and I could really clean this up and make my beard look really full, really nice, real even. I'm not really sold on the idea of trimming my beard yet, but I'm probably going to take a little bit off. This is the Parker straight razor, and I'm going to show you why I think this is far superior to the straight razor that I've been using. Okay, so now if you're like me and you don't go to the barber and you do your own maintenance, okay, there's certain things that are very important. Certain things that I just learned because I didn't even know the difference in them until I got my hands on this Parker straight razor. The feel, the weight, this thing's just, I'm sure it's just going to glide down my beard just because of the weight and the way this thing balances. All right, so I've been using this. I thought this was great. Now that I have my hands on this, sometimes you get exactly what you pay for. Okay, so this Parker, it's getting 2 thumbs up from me from jump, just based on what I see so far. This Tweezerman mustache scissor, which I thought was a bearded mustache scissor, I realized it's just a mustache scissor. Reading is fundamental. I guess I didn't read it correctly. So the scissor to me appears to be pretty small. I don't know how I'm going to like that because I like to cover a lot more surface area to make sure that I get even as trim as possible when I start, using stuff like this. But scissor seems to be pretty sharp. All right, now it came with a comb as well. Now when I grab this comb and I put it through my beard, I can tell you already, I don't like this comb. Okay, first of all, it's pretty sharp here, so I can feel it scratching my lip. And I can feel it tugging in my mustache. So now I can see the difference and the value in a comb like this, which is my Kent. Because this comb here, it just glides right through my mustache. And I love the Kent brand. There's also another handmade comb that I love. And the reason why I love these combs is not because they're not molded. So how they make a comb, it's basically 2 pieces of plastic that come together. So where they come together, there's usually a line. And that line scrapes against your hair as you're combing. And over time, that's going to weaken your hair. So these are perfectly smooth. I love this comb, right? So let me go ahead and get started. The first thing I do is I'm going to start with my line up here and over here. Now, I use an Andy style liner too. Pardon the break. I had these things probably 8 years or more, and they've been dropped a couple times. So in order to get this uniform and have your line in the same place on both sides, I just pick a spot. So my spot is the bottom of this area right here on my ear. I don't know what the medical term for this is. I don't think this is an earlobe, but whatever it is, I'm going to bring the line down to right there on both sides so that way it'll be even. Okay. Now, my man B the Barber gave a great tutorial on how he fades this line in. Looked to me like he does a way better job than I do, so I'm gonna try and pick up on his technique. And he always used the guard open, and he went up with the guard at one level, then he put an extra guard on it, and he did it again until he really faded that out. I'm still learning how to get the best fade out of my own beard, so just go ahead and start there. I normally flip it around the other way. Now, I learned to be very cautious when I do my trims. So my lines will never be as sharp and as neat as other people's lines, because in order to make that line as sharp as possible, you got to go a little bit deeper into the mustache or a little bit deeper into your beard. I'm not trying to do that. So my lines will never be as sharp as some of the people out there. So I have somewhat of a shaped line, but it's still a little bit more natural than most people that shape their lines. I showed you guys before, I used the Bump Off Invisible head to toe shave gel. So you got to make sure you keep these. I can tell already because of the weight. Make sure you keep these at the correct angle so that you don't cut yourselves, because I can tell already these are not going to be as forgiving as this was. This is a lot lighter in the hand. I'll probably never use these again. I'm really feeling this this Parker straight razor. So these scissors are probably going to be perfect for this. So I don't want to cut too far over here because these hairs are the ones that I need to grow over this way. So what I'm going to do is I just go ahead and comb those hairs out of the way. All right, on both sides. Now, see how small this comb is. Look at that. See that? A comb this small is not supposed to go through your beard. All right. But because of the way this comb is made, it's very, very, very smooth comb. You got to get you. These are all Kent combs. It's made by a different company, but pretty much same concept. And I use this for the bigger parts of my beard. All right, let's see. All right, so I think that's gonna be the extent of my beard trim. It's rough for me, brothers. Man, it's real rough. It's real rough, man. I know my beard will look a lot neater if I just take a little bit off the bottom, but I can't do it. I can't do it. All right, so thanks for sticking with me. Once again, live a bearded existence, and I'll see y'all brothers soon, all right? Peace.